It's just a jam session, man. So I'm playing drums, you're playing drums. Now we're both in this, as my training partner calls it, the bubble. You can
Yeah.
feel it, man. It's uplifting, and that's where the art's at.
Welcome to the FormABLE podcast, my brother.
Thank
This
you. Yeah,
is
it's a
yeah.
pleasure.
You're welcome, and I really appreciate you coming on. This is Mr. Michael Dubin. He is a Inosanto instructor, student, musician, martial artist, and I had a great conversation with him when I was out in California in 2021 because he made these incredible DVDs. I'm sure downloads. I'm old school DVD, and of to help Inasano instructors and those in the martial arts with rhythm and timing in the drums. And for those of us that aren't out in California, as much as we'd like to be, that was huge. And so when I reached out to you and I saw some things on YouTube, you had said you're gonna come. You have a new video, I believe. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So the first two videos that I did the first one with Dan Linero,
Yeah.
and that was kind of just an introduction to using the drum to play along with training.
Yes, sir.
And also, this goes with my evolution in martial arts, right? So I did that first video, and we got a great ensemble together. Guru Dan was in it, and Alex Acuna, and a bunch of other students and friends of ours from the academy. And I taught some basic drumming. Then I did a second video, and that video was to teach Guru Dan's rhythms, the ones that he uses in
Yes.
class. Okay, that one's available on my Gumroad site. I can give you links for that.
Absolutely.
The first one's out of print, so it's a bit of a collector's item.
Wow.
Uh,
What?
um, and the third one that I'm doing is now what I've done is I realized that Guru told me the secret to martial arts is rhythm and timing. And so this took about 10 years to understand. And I've been a professional drummer for many, many years. And I grew up in the drum industry. My grandfather's a famous drummer and owned a big drum shop in Chicago, the biggest. But anyways, this intersection of music and martial arts, Guru kept telling me, like, listen, Michael, once you see this, you're going to be able to phrase these things any way you want. So eventually I realized that Guru Dan feeds everything in time, meaning he has perfect sense of timing. And then he'll do rhythmic phrases on top of it. So he's always in the groove.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching him feed a Bisidario one day with stick and dagger, and I realized, I'm like, oh, wait a second, he's feeding in 3/4, and which is a time signature, 1 2 3 1 2 3, and so all of a sudden the light bulb went off, and then I started watching him feed all these other drills, and I was like, oh my god, everything he's doing is musical,
Mm-hmm.
and so then I started to apply like these books, the Syncopation book, which is a drum book, and the Buddy Rich book, which is a rudimental book, all these rhythms that I had learned studying drums for years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I applied them to my drills. So in my opinion, there's three charts at the academy, and one of them is not there. Guru talks about it, but it's not in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has the stickings, which are like the inward 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 or inward backhand backhand. And then he has the levels, which is like high, low, high.
Yes, sir.
And so that would be like the drums, right? You have a cymbal here, you have a floor tom here, you have a cymbal here. So it's just what you're hitting,
Huh.
right? And then you have the rhythm and the timing of things. So once you learn the coordination of this, then you start to put it into time. And you can phrase things many different ways. And this book here goes through all the permutations of the possibilities of musical phrasing. So let's say you have something as simple as inward backhand, and then inward low backhand, high backhand, inward low backhand, high backhand. It takes different amount of time to perform each of those, right?
Yes, sir.
This would be like a one, 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. So now it becomes a musical phrase. So once you get hip to that, it changes your martial arts completely, because now you understand what Bruce Lee was talking about with the broken rhythm, the half beats. Broken rhythm is not broken rhythm. It's syncopation. So it's the same thing, but you're not breaking the time. You're syncopating or breaking the rhythm.
Yes, sir.
So time is like if I'm playing doonch, batch, doonch, but there's my time, right? And the rhythm goes on top of it. Digga digga dat step do bat dit dip 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 do digga digga bang. And that's where Guru Dan is at. So I started going back in all my drills and putting them into time and putting them into phrasing, and it changed the whole thing. Because you can say a sentence many different ways rhythmically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll teach you, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's the 5 basic notes. You're learning a scale, but then you can start to play with that scale and mix it up. And then you're not looking for more techniques. You're taking what you already have, and all of a sudden it busts it open, and now it's become a whole universe just within a few drills, you know? So in that sense, it's kind of jazz. It's not kind of, it is jazz, right? You have structure, and then you have rhythm and timing. This will raise your awareness and consciousness completely, because martial art is an art.
Yes, sir.
And art, according to Guru Dan in my discussions with him and many other people, is what makes it an art is rhythm and timing. You can train as hard as you want, keep going, but you'll get diminishing returns unless you understand this, because you can keep going with the rhythm and timing thing till you're old, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Musashi talks about this in the Book of Five Rings. There's been lots of clues, you know, and there's a guy, Andy Summers, from the Police. He was a drum student of mine, and he told me one time that all art aspires to the condition of music, which is a Walter Pater quote. So all art aspires to the condition of music. And I started thinking about that with martial art. I'm like, how is this music? How is this music? How is this music? And Guru told me when I started, dance, music, martial arts, all part of the same thing. And if you really listen to Guru when he's talking rhythm and timing all the time. He gives you little hints and clues, you know. And he'll say things like, martial arts is 3/4 time and 4/4 time. Those are the martial arts times. So what does that mean? It's very simple, because if you understand music, you'll understand what he's talking about, you know? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 3/4. 4/4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you take anything that you have with groupings of 4, you put it into 4/4 time. Groupings of 3, you can put it into 3/4 time. And it's just variations of basic note values that you can apply to your martial arts. And that's what the video is about.
Brother, this is great. I'm watching you right now and break it down. And I made me remember, like Guru Rick Fay would say sometimes with stick and dagger, like with one hand we're playing rock and roll and the other we're playing jazz. Like that's like the extent of my rhythm. You know what I mean? But I got just a little bit. I'm watching as you are like it's almost everything's blown out of proportion now in your martial arts, because it seems like this other part of your life, the rhythm and timing that you've been doing for so long as drumming, has come together, and it's like an explosion is what I feel from even talking to you.
Yeah, because it's not a mystery. There's no magic to it, right? So I started this book in 1977. I'm still working on it. So, and this book I started in 1985. With my drum teacher, Freddie Gruber. And so Freddie Gruber told me now Freddie Gruber's like the Guru Dan of the drum world.
Sir.
He taught Neil Peart from Rush. He taught Steve Smith from Journey. These are big names that he taught, you know. So, but I started with him when I was a kid. And he told me when I started, well, first of all, when my first lesson I started with him, I had already been playing for 9 years. And I come from a famous drum family, you know. So, and I started, he said, play for me. And this is my first lesson. It was kind of like an audition, you know. And I played for him for about, 10 seconds. And he goes, stop. We got to start all over. And I was like, so, but what he was talking about, he goes, listen, I'm not teaching you drumming. I'm teaching you hand motion. So where does that sound familiar?
Kali. Sir.
Exactly, right? So when I got into class with Guru Dan, First thing he says, calling means hand motion. I'm like, whoa. So now all of a sudden, you get to start to put the pieces together, right? And Freddie Gruber had a poster, a picture on the music stand at the lessons of Bruce Lee with the nunchucks. I always thought that was weird. Why does he have a picture of Bruce Lee on there? And here's something that'll blow your mind. I asked Guru Dan, why did you study with Bruce Lee? Like, you're older than him. What was the impetus to study with him?
Sure.
I mean, you teach all this stuff that we do, and I see what Bruce Lee does. And, granted, it was a long time ago, but he goes, rhythm and timing, Michael.
Really?
I was like, and that was like, but I didn't fully understand what he meant, So I'm like, what? Like,
if you say so, Guru, right? That's how I feel a lot of time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but now I understand it because say we're playing music together.
Mm-hmm.
I hold the rhythm down while you solo.
Sir.
Right? Yeah. Then you hold the rhythm for me while I solo.
Mm-hmm.
If you can keep good time, all you have to do is be able to count to 4, right? Unfortunately, counting to 4 in time is not the easiest thing to do, right? So a lot of people drag, a lot of people rush.
Mm-hmm.
And this gets into body motion, right? So if you do the full motion, 1, 2, 3, then you're giving the notes the full value. If I just go like this and rush it, you're leaving out the body motion. So it's the body motion that keeps you in time. That's what he was talking about. Bruce Lee could groove. He has perfect time. Guru has perfect time. All these guys, Buddy Rich, the drummer, perfect time. Oscar Peterson, the piano player, perfect time. It all comes down to rhythm and timing. So if you can keep time, you apply it to your drills that you already got, all of a sudden your martial arts goes from here to there.
Thank you for...
And you start to see the openings because you're subdividing time. So if I have 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and that and is the half beat that Bruce Lee talks about. So if you can keep time, if I go like this to somebody and we're sparring, 1 and 2 and 1 and the counters are right there because you're so when they say you have to time things, you're not trying to run through the what do they call the revolve in Chicago in the high rises? They had those doors that.
Oh, there were like revolving doors or...
Yeah. And when you're a kid, you got to time it, right? You got to get in.
Yeah.
So most people approach martial arts like that, but you don't have to when you understand rhythm and timing because you can see clearly where the person's at, if they're dragging, if they're rushing. And then also, too, all you're doing is subdividing time. So when they're on the backside, you're entering. When on the front side, you're entering. And that's all basic music. So, yeah. And it's just, I can explain it good because I'm also a music teacher.
That helps, yeah.
Yeah, and I understand the body motion, so I can explain the mysteries of the art, right?
And, yeah, absolutely, because you just taught me something right there. I don't know if we've been on the air now for about 8 minutes, but I'm immediately geeking out, and things are making a little bit more sense. And I could go on forever, but could we backtrack? I just nerded out, jumped right into all of the different things you specialize in. Could we talk a little bit about Michael Dubin's origin story? I should have started there. I got excited, brother.
Yeah, no, it's all good. All of it goes together anyways,
Yeah, absolutely. It should.
So, all right. So, yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Yes, sir.
My grandfather owned Frank's Drum Shop in Chicago. So day one, I was in the drum shop. And they gave me drums. At 2 years old, I got my first drum set. And I started taking lessons from a guy, Phil Stanger, downtown Chicago at the shop. And this was around 77.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I've taken drum lessons pretty much my whole life. Played sports. I played baseball. I did about 9 years of hockey, so I did a lot of fighting in hockey, which was great. Mm-hmm. So you're padded up enough to where you don't have to worry about it. A lot of BMX, other activities as such. Always had bands. I started forming bands around 5th grade, and we were playing and, learning our own tunes.
Now, were you always a drummer? I'm sorry. With the access to everything, you started drums at 2, but in the bands were you pulled towards other? Because I believe you play more than one instrument. That I'm absolutely positive of.
Yeah, so drums, it was drums all the way up until 1983. And then I got interested in guitar as well as a second instrument. So I've been playing guitar since 1983. And other instruments, bass. And I got a bass when I was like 5 years old or something. And I always took piano lessons. So I've always done everything except the wind instruments and the brass instruments, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I played, and then so did bands up until 85, and then my mom moved me and my brother out to Los Angeles, which was a culture shock. But yeah, I'm just getting over it now. But so but yeah, I continued to do music, and I studied drums in LA too. I met a very famous drum teacher named Freddie Gruber and became his student for 25 years until he passed. This is the musical part of the journey, right? So I didn't do martial arts until I was 42 years old. So that was new. Yeah.
That's
so
the exact age my wife started. We just went to the Inosanto Academy for the first time last week. That's awesome.
Did she have a good time?
She had a great time. Great time.
That's awesome. And she's got a good coach.
Working on it, brother. Working on it. She's a great student. That's really the rub.
That's important, yeah. So yeah, this musical journey, you know, has been lifelong. That's been my spiritual path. I'd say my spiritual path has been the drums, and then for fun. And my favorite thing is the guitar was just like a fun instrument for me. And so I studied the drums very hard, and then I applied my knowledge of rhythm and timing to all the other instruments I play. But yeah, I've recorded and put out my own music and had a solo career, had a sideman career. I teach drums, guitar, percussion. The percussion's a whole nother story too, because that starts in Big Sur at Esalen Institute. My brother brought me up there on the 4th of July around 1998, and I met Babatunde Olatunji, who's an African drummer, and I got real interested in the hand drums.
Yeah.
And started studying African drumming. And later on, my Uncle Wayne and my Uncle Marty played congas, and my Uncle Chuck all played hand drums. So I got into the Latin thing. So yeah, it's kind of interesting because the drums has sort of been the meandering to keep me straight ahead, you know.
What you said hit me like a rock. The spiritual part with the spiritual kind of link was the drums. Okay?
Yeah.
Almost like the beat of life given you, right? I don't know if I'm looking too much into it, but that's what I got from you. Am I crazy?
No, not at all. That's exactly it. That's the first rhythm, you know, so the heartbeat. But I was always athletic. I did gymnastics. I was a letterman in gymnastics on the rings in 88. So all through high school, I did gymnastics. I've always been active.
Yeah, brother.
And yeah, all these things kind of led me in this direction towards martial art. So yeah, I've been through, you know, a whole bunch of stuff in life that's been kind of draining.
Yeah.
And I've always been looking for things to sort of keep me elevated.
Recharge.
Yeah. And so at one point, we had my mom had stage 4 cancer, and I was caretaking for her, and she's doing well now. She's actually beat it.
God bless.
But yeah, for a very long time, I was caretaking, and my energy levels just went down to pretty much nothing.
That's normal for a caregiver. That's you're drained.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and there's been a lot of chaos, you know, growing up in my family and stuff, and I was just completely drained. And I tried a whole bunch of things, and I would get up a little bit and then get depleted, and then get up and get depleted. This happened many times. And so around 2012, my girlfriend Lana and I were walking through Marina Del Rey. This was by chance. She had a dog walking job that she was doing, and we went to this apartment, and the apartment was not the cleanest apartment, and there were some cigarette butts like thrown out on the balcony. And I was in a mood, and I'm like, this is disgusting. Let's get out of here. I can't deal with this. So we grabbed the dog, and we walked out of the building. We could have gone right, but we decided to go left. And I walked around the corner, and all of a sudden I heard some, you know, I'm like, wait a second, that's weird. Some drumming going on.
So you found yourself following the drums,
Yeah,
Michael?
yeah. So I followed the sound of the drums, and it was an instructor camp at the Inosanto Academy.
Wow.
And so it was a block away. And I had actually been thinking martial arts might be a good thing for me to try to get my energy up again. I had done yoga with a buddy of mine, which helped. Stefan Stracci and his wife Diana, they have a yoga studio, and I did that for roughly, I don't know, it might have been on and off for 3 years.
Nice.
And that helped, but it didn't get me like, you know, back to where I wanted. But I learned a lot, and I opened things up with the yoga, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I thought martial arts might be a nice addition, you know, because I need something. And also Buddy Rich, who's my idol, he's a black belt in karate.
Okay, yeah.
So I always thought there must be something to this martial arts, you know, best drummer in the world. So anyways, I tried Taekwondo. I took one class.
Okay.
And I got kneed in the nuts, and I'm like, this is not for me.
It's not a good first class. That's no matter what.
So, and it was ridiculous. I mean, you know, we were like running around obstacle courses, and then, you know, you do one kick, and there's 3 black belts standing there like this, and I'm like, this is weird. So, but not to knock Taekwondo.
Sure,
my niece just got her black belt in karate Taekwondo, and she's amazing. So
and it's probably really hard to have a good experience in something when in your first hour you get kneed in the nuts.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's like, I don't know. People would be like, "Is that the universe?" I have no idea, but that would.
Yeah, that was the trial class. So.
Yeah, that'll do her. That'll do her sometimes, right? It's not the art. Sometimes it's the experience. Yeah, brother.
So yeah, I actually have another interesting part of this story. This is an interesting story, but anyways, I ran up to the academy, and my girlfriend was like, I went into the parking lot, and it was a full parking lot, and the seminar was going on. She's like, "Is it okay to go in there?" I'm like, "I don't care. I hear drums. I'm going in." And I knew who Guru Dan was because I had been watching some videos, Kali videos, for the past year and a half before that. And so I watched Bruce Lee and Guru because in 1990, my roommate taught me some Kali because he was Cass Magda's student.
That's cool.
So he showed me Heaven 6. He showed me a jab, cross hook, and a right round kick, and a knife disarm with the X block, which I don't recommend.
Sure.
But he took me to a free class with Cass in 1990, and I just wasn't into it. Like, you know, I went to the class, and the vibe was like, you know, the vibe there wasn't my thing. And Cass took a Chris off the wall, and he had me stand there. And this is another, you know, like, first class. And he goes, stand there, and he did the numbering system on me. My first day, no experience, and he's touching the Chris to my neck. And I'm thinking, as soon as this fucking guy is done, I'm out of here. Because this is, you know, this is like not
There's
what
a lot to take in at the very beginning. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, guys holding a sword to your neck, you know. So anyways, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a student of Guru's or whatever. But yeah, that was it. I'm like, this is done. So fast forward from 1990 to 2012, I run in there. I tell Dory, who's working at the front desk, "Hey, I'm a drummer. She's like, yeah, whatever. Here's, you know, like, so here's the paperwork, and, you know." So anyways, I walked out of the parking lot, and I saw Guru like walking by, and I'm like, holy shit, that's the guy. That's the guy from the video, you know? So, but I had gone on the website and seen Guru in a C-lot pose like this. And I'm like, that's too serious for me. I need like the corner dojo, you know, like Cobra Kai, like, you know.
I need the beginning level. That looks like too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I took the paperwork home, and then I was scared. I'm like, you know, and my brother tells me, he's like, just go take one class. If you go take one class, you win, you know? So I signed up, and this was August. By September, I went down to my first class. I didn't know anybody. I drove an hour and a half in traffic from the valley. And I was sitting on the floor just freaking out, like, you know, in the back of the class. Next thing I know, Guru's standing over me, and I remember looking at his feet, and he's just talking, and I'm just like, it's like standing at the feet of BB King, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're not worthy. We're not
exactly,
worthy. There's a little bit that goes on. Yeah.
Yeah, so I took a class, and I remember the first class, and I did some knife drills with a student, and they took the knife and they just like the metal knife right towards my face, and I blocked it. I'm like, dude, it's a little intense, you know, like it's the first class. He's like, yeah, well, this is Guru Inosanto. I'm like, well, it looks like it's more you than Guru Inosanto, you know. So, but
wow, yes, sir.
But I'm like, I can deal with this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This is whatever. This is awesome, you know. So, it was pretty intense from the beginning, but yeah, I kept going back, and I told my brother I saw some drums up there, and I said, hey, should I tell him I'm a drummer? And he goes, what are you going to do? Train there for 2 years and not tell him you play drums?
That's such a legit answer for that.
Yeah. So maybe about like, I don't know, it was maybe October. So maybe like a month later, I got the nerve up to tell Guru I played drums, you know? So I said, excuse me, Guru, after class, I said, can I go look at your drums? And, cause I had just signed up for one class a week there.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got the full membership and was, you know, but after college class, I said, can I look at your drums? He goes, are you a drummer? I said, yeah. He goes, do you play professionally? I said, yeah. He goes, do you teach? I said, yeah. He goes, give me your phone number. And he pulls out his iPhone and he's like, so I gave him my number, and then he goes, go say hi to Michael Tiratira was playing some drums, who was an amateur drummer who used to play at the academy. He's since passed. And Jeff Amata was up there. So I walked up to those guys. I don't know who they are. I don't know Jeff Amata, you know. And I'm like, hey, guys, whatever. My grandpa had a drum shop. I studied with Freddie Gruber. And they're like, what? And I'm a drummer. And then I hit the drum. And they both just stood at attention like, uh-oh, somebody's here knows what they're doing, you know. So anyways, they left. And Guru turns around to me and he goes, because JKD was starting, he goes and he points to me, and I just start playing.
Yeah, really?
And so next thing I know, I'm playing for class, and Guru comes over and he goes, hey, you want to jam? He says, you want to jam? And as soon as he said that, I'm like, this is it. I mean, this is my guy, right? So that was it. From that day on, you know, Guru in my relationship was teacher student, but also drummers.
That's so cool.
And I found out Guru started playing drums when he was 13. He played in a marching band up in Stockton. He knows how to play rudiments, and he's always taken drum lessons. He studied with a guy named Mel Zelnick, who was a jazz drummer in the 60s. And Guru owned a nice set of Rogers drums, and he always loved drums. And so, yeah, we just connected immediately. Eventually, I gave him drum lessons. And shortly after that, Mike Tiratira, who was playing drums there, he goes, do you know Alex Acuna? And I said, yeah, I know him. He was friends with my uncle, and he did clinics at my grandfather's shop, just like they have clinics at the academy. They used to have drum clinics at the shop. And he goes, he's my favorite drummer. And at that point, I was like, I will do anything for anybody at this academy just because I'm so happy to be here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and about a month later, we saw on the paper an ad that Alex was doing a drum clinic up at Cal State Northridge, which was my alma mater, where I'd gotten kicked out of the music program. So, yeah, Cal State Northridge, you know. So, yeah, I'll zip. So
that might be the best story yet. We're not getting today, folks. Anyway.
But anyways, we went up to the Cal State Northridge, and next thing I know, I'm in a band room where I'd gotten asked to leave, and Alex is doing a clinic, and my buddy Michael's freaking out because Alex is his favorite drummer, and Alex has played with Weather Report, he's played with Paul McCartney, U2, and he does all the Disney films. He's his most accomplished, you know, professional drummer. He's at the top of the top as far as like career-wise goes, what you can achieve in music, you know.
Outstanding.
And so anyways, after everybody was done saying hi to him, he comes walking over to us and he's like, hey guys. And we became friends right there on the spot. Mike told him about the academy, and then eventually we brought Alex to the academy, and then next thing you know, I said, Alex, if you sign up, I'll be your training partner. And so Alex was 68 years old when he started. He just got his black belt from Guru last year, or this year, I think it was, at 80. And then yeah. So next thing I know, Alex and I are playing together like 2 to 4 times a week. All my friends in the drum industry are like, "How do you know Alex Acuna?" I'm like, "Well, we train martial arts together, you know." So yeah, Alex joined, and then I started taking the drums and setting them up at the academy so we could play them all together.
Mm-hmm.
And so things were spaced out, but over the years, I took all the drums and put them together like Drums of Passion, which is Olatunji, who I met in Big Sur. And all of a sudden now we had an ensemble of drums.
Mm.
And so if you look at the back wall of the academy, there was a drum set which I brought there. My buddy Neil Sawson, who was a great drum teacher and student of my teacher, Freddie Gruber, he gave me the drum set. So I brought that to the academy. I got a set of congas from Derek Zimmerman from LP. He gave me to bring to the academy. And then we took all of Guru's African drums and then Guru's floor toms and we set them all up. And eventually the drum jams just got off the hook. I mean, it was like Big Sur at the academy. And I venture to say you're not going to hear any better drumming anywhere in the world than what was going on when me and Alex were playing there.
That's amazing, brother. Thank you for giving me that history, right?
Yeah.
Because being a student there and being a traveling student, you don't know the history of the wall, right? You just know there's something's a little bit different, you know. And
Yeah.
there's some amazing drummers that are there. And that's always something that honestly kind of intimidated me. I did capoeira up until the point where it really, like, now I need to get musical. That and it was really hard. I opted out to do some other things, you know. So now through your videos, I get an opportunity to add that back just a little bit, at least to work on it, you know. So that,
Yeah, well, this next one, the next video is going to really give you some insight into how to add that to your martial arts.
yeah.
I mean, capoeira, here's the difference, right? So capoeira does their art to the drum.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to explain to you in the video is now you're the drum. So
Okay, sir. Wow.
yes. So and Olatunji said it. I'm the drum, you're the drum, we're the drum. So now you don't need the drums to hold the rhythm down. And as a feeder, like now you're teaching your wife, as a feeder, it's very important that you keep time. And to be able to keep time, it's really simple. You know, if you go to a concert, you clap 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You're keeping time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most people clap on 1 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
The jazz musicians clap on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, which makes it swing.
Okay.
But you're keeping time. So when you feed these drills or when you do your Sinawali, you can go through everything in time. And as you learn to go through time, which the video explains, you don't need the drums. The drums is just for motivation. Now you're becoming the timekeeper. And if you see this, like Guru says, if you understand this, you can play with people because you can subdivide rhythm, change the tempo. And the whole thing with Bruce Lee, like when he does the Chisao, right? With the blindfold. The reason he's able to get over on people with that is because he's setting the tempo. And before Taki Kimura can get up to tempo, Bruce Lee breaks the rhythm. He syncopates. Okay. So if I come at you swinging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the third one, I break the rhythm. By the time you keep up, you figure out what my rhythm, what my time is. I've already changed it up, and that's where the whole thing. It's like a band. You know, you kick off the tempo of the band. Ding, 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 ding. The whole band's got to keep up, right? So that's what makes the bassy band groove. Is everybody's got good time. Some of these other bands, the horns drag, so all of a sudden it's like, you know, you got a wheel on your car that's going like this. So,
when it comes to my rhythm car, there's 3 out of 4 wheels are slightly wobbly, like, you know. So I don't even know if I noticed the difference in the swing. But Kali definitely gave me some rhythm. It was my first martial art, and it's built in there. I just don't understand necessarily as well as I'd like to how to manipulate it, which is what you're sharing with me.
Yeah, so the video will explain that. and it goes through all of it. What I did in the video is I broke down the prefixes for the single stick. So the downward figure eights, upward figure eights, high loops, the abanicos, the redondos, reverse redondos, and I put it into time with the high box in time, and then how to subdivide with those, right? Because I can play straight quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So here's the time. Timing would be you're looking at me and trying to figure out how to get in, right? And then broken rhythm would be 1 and a 2 E and a 3. So those are the in-betweens. And then if you understand that, you got it all, because you apply that to each of your drills. And now all of a sudden you're not just, because a lot of times what happens was when you're untrained, you play one way.
Absolutely.
You'll do yeah. So, but if you know all the options, I mean, you asked me a question in the this morning in the message. What would you recommend for martial artists to improve their journey?
Yes, sir.
Right. I would recommend studying this, and I would recommend studying this.
Thank you.
Because the thing is, which by the way, I teach those. So the thing is that we have more than enough techniques. Guru gives you a whole buffet of things, right? And you can train those for the rest of your life. But if you understand this, how to apply this to one drill, now one drill is not just one drill. It's unlimited. So everybody talks about, oh, you have so many combinations of stickings from the Sinawali chart, but you add this to it, you got the whole universe.
Okay.
So, and Guru's hip to this. He knows this. I mean, he knows it, and he stressed it to me over 11 plus years there. He kept saying it, and then all of a sudden one day the light bulb went off when I watched him demo. Right? So it depends who you watch demonstrate these things, because if a guy doesn't have any rhythm, or if their timing is off, they drag or they rush, you're not going to get the essence of the drill.
Okay.
You got to. So I've gone back and I watched Guru demonstrate these things and cop his rhythms. So if you check out his rhythms on these things, you can then break them down into quarter notes, quarter note triplets, eighth notes, triplets, and 16th notes. And once you see that everything's in time, then you can start to phrase each of the drills any way you want. So you learn Guru's timing on things, like the numbering system. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? But the amount of time it takes to go from here to here, I could go 1, 2, 3, and 4, because this is a faster motion, right? So I'm going quarter note, eighth note, quarter note. And everything gets smoothed out, the full value. Like Guru will say, go for the stroke, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. That's in front, right? If I go around the head, it changes the timing. So I might go like 1 and 2, and so that's over the head, because it takes longer to go over the head. So the phrase is changed, but it's still in time. So all of these things are, and once you understand this, the whole thing blows open, man.
I can tell by just the way that you're talking about it, and sometimes when Guru would go to seminars, he would say, "Well, I'm going to give you a diamond. I'm going to give you a diamond right now, but it looks like a piece of broken glass."
Yeah.
Right now, I have broken glass, right? But that is starting to make a little bit more sense in the midst of it, and I sincerely appreciate that. And still, at the same time, like, you start drumming at 2.
Yeah.
Right? And it took you 11 years to really get into it, which just goes back to, like, the first level is our coordination, right? I'm like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Just recently, I had Jacob Norden from Minnesota Kali Group on the show, and we were just talking about learning to learn, which martial arts has been real critical for me, this guy here, just to learn how to learn. I needed to be interested in something enough to pull back the layers, right? And then also kind of learning to learn. But he had told me that somebody told him a couple years ago, Well, now watch their feet during demonstration, right? And now I hear from you, listen, because
Yes,
there's so much
exactly.
more in those pieces, right? In the beginning level, I'm still trying to figure out this might be my split entry. That's my house. That's what I'm trying to do, and this might be my gunting, right?
Yeah.
But later,
Yeah.
that's
So once you get the coordination,
mm-hmm,
Guru says it, then you go into the rhythm and timing.
sir.
Most people stop at the coordination and they get good at it because they just keep doing it over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing my drum teacher would always say, which was classic, if you don't know the difference, what's the difference? So, you know, so the next level is the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So next time you watch Guru, his time is perfect, man. He's up there with Oscar Peterson, Buddy Rich, all the great musicians. Guru's expression of art is martial art.
Mm.
These other guys are musicians. It's still body motion, right? It's still body motion. It's still body motion. So all of this applies to any motion-based activity. They did a thing. Mickey Hart did a thing from the Grateful Dead.
Mm-hmm.
He did. It was on ESPN where he talks about rhythm and sports.
All right, I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's good, but they don't get into teaching anything about how it's related. I mean, they'd say, "Hey, there's a connection here."
Mm.
Okay, obviously, right? But my student who trains with me, he's a swimmer too. And I expressed this to him. I said, the other day I was swimming and I noticed I was doing a freestyle and there were 3 kicks for every one. So all of a sudden I'm kicking in triplets. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and I went across the pool the fastest I've ever gone across the pool because I coordinated it with the hands. Then he explained to me some other technical things which I didn't get, but
that's what I'm getting
has,
right now, Michael, but I'm enjoying it, brother.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, but yeah, it's all based on, you can break it all down. I mean, this is basic stuff. Bruce Lee's half beat, which is the big mystery. Yeah. I've heard people try to explain it and you know, nobody really knows what they're talking about. But so this is page, let's say it's lesson 4.
Okay.
Of the syncopation book is eighth notes. Okay. I can send this to you later. You don't have to write it down. Yeah. So lesson 4 of syncopation is eighth notes. This is a very simple concept. But in Bruce Lee's hands, it was deadly because everybody was doing quarter notes. 1, 2, 1, 2. And he's going 1 and so
yeah.
So that's page 4. But if you're a drummer and you study this, I mean, there's 60 pages in this book, 63 pages, you know, and that's just one book. I've gone through stacks of books like this. Guru says it. How many exercises are there in stick control? He'll talk about stick control, George Lawrence Stone's book, in class. One day he said that. He goes, it's like the stick control book. And I'm looking around going, who's he talking to? Like, I'm the only one who knows stick control in the class, you know? So anyways, he goes, Michael, how many pages are in stick control? And I don't know, Guru, there's got to be 60 pages in that book. So he was basically saying, you know, so yeah, it's been interesting to come to this conclusion and to understand it, because now I have a serious appreciation for how great Guru Dan is. Not only does he know all these martial arts, but he also has the understanding of these things that are, you know, he says it, man, awareness is the greatest art, right? So as soon as you're aware of this, your conscious level goes up, right? Because when I started with Guru, I've heard him say it too, I'm raising people's consciousness, because say the Silat stuff, I've never seen Silat before in my life. I'm watching them do Silat, and I'm like, that's fighting? I'm like, you know, it's like Twister.
Yeah.
Right? So anyways, that raised my consciousness of what's possible in martial art, right? Then I saw this, and all of a sudden now this starts to apply to my life in general, right? Because I'm taking this stuff and now I'm looking around going, where am I out of time and where am I out of rhythm in my life, you know? So I've applied these things to other areas, like where are the notes flat, you know? All right, that person's a flat note, they got to go, right? So this person's a flat note, they're out, you know? So yeah, you start to look
I've
around
been an
after you
out
get,
of tune person in people's lives before, so I totally get that. You know what I mean? Every once in a while.
yeah, I mean, I think as long as you're moving forward, your intention is good, and
Yeah.
you're constantly leveling up, trying to learn new things. That's what
Mm-hmm.
makes Guru Dan so special, is he's constantly evolving and learning and new things, and reinventing. So the last year I've gone back and I've reinvented my drumming thing and analyzed my hand motion. And I was already a good gunslinger, man, on the drums
I bet,
before
brother.
this, right? But I took the whole year to like reinvent. And my collie, I've totally reinvented my collie based around this. And then also started putting it together with uh, um, the coordinating it with the footwork, which drummers are four-way coordinated independence, because you have the bass drum, the hi-hat, the right hand, and the left hand. So your footwork is going to be like a dancer, you know. So the Capri Cabrong is a perfect example of that, right? You got to have the footwork lined up with the hands, and everything's a shuffle in Capri Cabrong. One, a two, a three, a four, bang, and that's so you can apply. Once you get hip to this, it starts to spread, man. And all of a sudden, uh, this last couple of years too, I've been doing a lot of indoor rock climbing, about 4 days a week.
Right on.
So that's been my main activity. And you want to keep leveling up, right? Like, so I'm 55. I'm in probably the best shape of my life at the moment, adult life. I'm tuned up in these areas, man. I'm tuned up on the guitar. I'm tuned up on the drums. I'm tuned up in my martial art. I'm tuned up in my physical activities, my diet. So you start to go around the wheel and go, okay, what's lacking? Finances can come up, right? Where are my relationships at, right? And you start to tune all these things up because you go, oh, I'm out of time in this area, man. This is, I think, my path in life has led me to this sort of apex here of what I'm here for. And I think that's to express, the connection between this, and also to how it can affect your personal life, because once you're hip to it and you can see it, you go, okay, that's where it's at, man. That's where it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And, when I met Guru, he said, hey, you want to jam? I was like, okay, that's where it's happening.
Some immediate synergy to your story, and I really appreciate it being a student of Guru's. I didn't know his level of musical and other things. There's a lot I don't know, so that's really really cool to hear that, and to also well, I'll be honest. Most of the things I know about broken rhythm and things I know about are things I repeat from Guru. So I don't always understand, right? That's the first level of learning anyway. I don't know how it fits in. I just know I need to pay attention to this.
Yeah. Well, he'll give you the clues, right?
Yeah.
And then every student's going to put it together in their own way,
Mm-hmm.
the pieces of the puzzle. But to understand art in general, all art has rhythm and timing, and all art aspires to the condition of music, according to that quote. So, how does martial art aspire to the condition of music? It has nothing to do with fighting. It has nothing to do with sports. It has to do with body motion, rhythm, and timing. Now, you could go into those other areas. You can go into MMA or whatever. MMA is a small part of the art,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And so with Freddie Gruber, my drum teacher, we did drills the same as Guru. He would write ABC. So he'd have three exercises, and you would take the drills. Let's say whatever. This is a double paradiddle. So on the page, he would go A, B, C, D, E. They're all different time signatures, and you'd have to go through the whole page and play in time each of those exercises. And that's all Guru's trying to get you to do with the drills, anyways, right? So you have, let's say, the prefix and then the high box. Those are two different drills that are put together, but you have to flow through them in time. And the last part can't rush and it can't drag. It's got to be in time. You can speed up and you can slow down as long as it's organic. You can still be in time if you do that. But if your time is all over the place, the drill's going to not look right, and it's not going to feel right. So, for example, the collie, the way the Guru teaches, he teaches the drills, right? A lot of guys go into the hard sparring or the sparring, whatever, and they say, oh, this is where it's at, the sparring. Yes and no. where it's at is getting the drills in time. So because when I would go through my drum books, I would do these drills, and then I went to the jam sessions, and I said, okay, I went down to this jazz jam session, which was like, it was terrifying to go there. I was like about maybe 22. And I took all the drills and I sat down on the drums, and they counted off the tempo, and now this is like sparring, right? So I went to it, and all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, it's working. Wax on, wax off, so, and it's improv, it's improvisation. That's what makes it interesting, right? Because drill 1, drill 2, you put them together, there's a lot that can happen in between, So that's what makes it different than the classical arts, So that's what Bruce Lee and Guru were talking about, right? All this philosophy and everything that they're just saying is jazz, right? It's not classical music. Now jazz is classical music because everyone's trying to recreate what happened, the same as they're trying to do with martial art, right? But that's not where it's at. So
well played, sir. Absolutely, that makes 100% sense.
Right, and you don't want to turn what you're learning from Guru Dan into classical music. You want to keep it so, and the way that you don't turn it into classical music is to learn this.
Brother, you just unloaded. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Really appreciate it. Could you tell us a little bit about your Kabri Kabrong experience? Because you're a Kabri Kabrong instructor, right?
Yeah, well, I have. So Guru gives out red tabs
Absolutely,
for Kabri Kabrong, right? So during the pandemic, we were out in the parking lot at the academy.
Yeah.
And we trained for a year in the parking lot, and all kinds of weather. It was like cold and rainy and foggy in the marina, or it was hot and sunny. So early on in the pandemic, the classes were very small, and we're outside. So Guru brought out, you couldn't touch, he brought out the staff again, and then he brought out the Kabri Kabrong because everyone parked on the street, and then we had the whole parking lot to run. So as soon as the first classes started in the parking lot, they're small, it's like 5-6 people there. He goes, who's vaccinated? So I was the first one vaccinated because my mom, I took care of her as a caretaker, so I had to get the shot. So Guru goes, Dubin. So next thing I know, I'm demoing with Guru constantly because I'm vaccinated. And so he started teaching the Kabri Kabrong and the staff, and that really accelerated a lot of things for me because we couldn't train staff in Kabri Kabrong in the academy because there's no room. So we went through all the Kabri Kabrong outside, and we did it for a while. And I was the main person who was demonstrating that for a long time until everybody else got up to speed with it. Then he started bringing other people in to demonstrate. But he told me, Michael, the steps, you're going to walking speed or there's a shuffle. And so I put it together very quickly, the footwork, and you're on the lead leg, shuffling. And so anyways, he handed out the red tabs for us. And so I don't know if that means instructor or we just know the curriculum, but I can teach it. So.
Oh, I bet. We just. Yeah. That's really cool. I wanted to ask because that is something that I don't have as much experience with. Guru would teach it in Indiana for years because there was an auditorium. So that was one of the only places that I have the understanding that he taught it. And I got to do it a couple times. And out at the academy, me and my wife got to do a lot of it. And that was super cool. I also like to follow history and the geeking out part, right? And so it's really neat to hear how maybe that shift, like brought it back because you're outside, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Guru just loves it. He loved it. I mean, it was part of a lot of the things that we did. And so it's really neat to hear that story. Thank you.
Well, it's like wind sprints in hockey.
Yeah.
So I was probably the lightest I've been while I was doing that because my partner Monique and I and also Marie, we did a lot of the demos. So Guru, it was like having Guru as a personal trainer. So I mean, I was probably down 10 pounds while I was doing all those demonstrations because you're running back and forth, and it was great, because Guru's like got the timer and you go going. It's fun, man. It's super fun. Plus, if you have okay, so one time they had me go to the Balintawak seminar because Guru wanted to demonstrate the Kabri Kabrong at the seminar.
Oh,
Because
nice.
they do single stick.
Mm-hmm.
So he had me come in and demonstrate Kabri Kabrong, and the Balintawak people were like, dude, because I mean, someone's running at you with swords like this, and you got a single stick, you're trying to keep up. It's like
There's a lot going on. Yes, sir.
yeah. So, but yeah, it was awesome. I used to love it, and the staff as well. I think the staff really brought out a lot of body motion, sort of opened things up that we weren't able to do indoors that we could do outdoors, because we did a lot of the Kabri Kabrong with the staff, and also the Salam Bomb. So swinging that staff and understanding the mechanics of it. I mean, I played hockey too, so like, and I've hit people over the head with hockey sticks. So so you start to feel the power of that. It's like, it all goes into the body mechanics of it. You don't hit them like this, you're gonna wind up and So, and my drum teacher taught the same thing, man. Exactly.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So, you don't play the drums like this. You play, it's like baseball, right? You throw it, you don't throw like that. You have to learn the mechanics of it. And Guru is an athlete. He played all these sports, so he understands mechanics. So once you understand the mechanics, the coordination, then you got it, man. Because you understand the art, you have an appreciation for the top of the top, and also to whatever level you're at, you can express yourself because you understand the art. I might not know as much information, but I can do what I can jam.
Yeah.
Right. And another thing is, like, when you're demonstrating with Guru, if you can catch on to his rhythm, things get really exciting. Like one time he was feeding me the dagger, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to get on his rhythm. So I got on his rhythm, and he gave me that look like, okay, you got it, right? And as soon as he did
we
that,
all want to see the look some days. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
For a minute,
so he's
yes,
like,
sir.
you're hip to me, you're hip to my rhythm. And then he broke the rhythm. He syncopated, and then he got me, and then he gave me the wink. Like, so,
Touche, mon frere.
Yeah. But that's why he liked Bruce Lee, because Bruce could hold the rhythm for him, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
He could hold the rhythm, and then you could really start to play with people, and it's just a jam session, man. So I'm playing drums, you're playing drums. Now we're both in this, as my training partner calls it, the bubble.
Yeah.
You can feel it, man. It's uplifting, and that's where the art's at. You're not just clicking sticks mindlessly and, like looking around, chewing gum, and like talking to your friends. I mean, you're in it,
That's what I'm hearing right now a lot. I mean, we all know Kali, hand motion, it's the study of reflex action, right? So all this needs to be done without thinking about it. It can maybe gives certain practitioners or more confidence because you feel it. It's part of the flow of your body. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well, say you train all this stuff.
Yeah.
Then when you go to use it in a real life situation or in a demonstration or whatever, you're not thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
So my drum teacher told me, these are the drills. You train this. This is your practice. You're actually intentionally learning. And then when it's time to go do a demonstration, you don't think about it. You can count while you're doing things if you need to keep it clean. Mm-hmm. But ultimately what Guru's saying is, like, you just let it go and it comes out. So, but the more you train this other stuff, right, you just go up and you play. You don't think, you're not thinking about, that's what jazz is. Do you know what made the first jazz band a jazz band?
No, I do not, sir.
There was no music on the music stands. It's just all coming from the head.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what made it jazz. No music. Okay, let's just play. And then the rhythm of it, of course, and then what they were playing, but they're not looking at the page.
Not following a script.
Yeah.
Right? They're in the moment, right? Music, not my strong point, but I used to act and do stand-up comedy, so I understand the timing and the rhythm and the relationship and almost exchange of energies that can happen with certain things, right?
Yeah. Same exact thing.
Man, that's really cool. And you get really jazzed when you talk about this, Mike. Mike, is it okay to call you Mike? Michael, I don't.
Yeah, Mike is fine.
Okay.
We're from the Midwest.
Yeah, for sure. Right on, brother. Right on. This really seems to jazz you up, man.
Yeah, it's exciting to me because I think I have two things coming together, and then many other things. And I'm also seeing the results of this. I mean, as I get older, I mean, I'm 55, and I'm going to the climbing gym and doing advanced climbing, lead climbing, and my life is, improving. Where I see a lot of other people are going this way.
Yeah.
And I think that's Guru's biggest message. There was one day with Guru, there was a instructor that came and was teaching some Pikiti Tersha, and then this guy done a lot of hard sparring too. Physically not in great shape. After the seminar, which I didn't particularly enjoy, I was standing off to the side, and Guru was in between the heavy bags, and he had like some kind of green drink or something. And he's probably 82 or 83 at this point. And he's standing there, with his hand on his hip, and he's sipping out of his cup, and he winks at me. And the sun hit him just in the right way, man, where he looked like he was about, 25 years old.
Yeah.
And his sleeves were like rolled up, and he had that kind of 50s, like Marlon Brando thing going on.
Yeah.
Guru reminds me of Brando, man. He's like,
I can see it, brother. Yeah.
But yeah, he winks at me, and all of a sudden I got the message, man. He's like, yeah, just stay healthy, man. Have fun, And so I've gotten hurt a lot, man, in martial art.
Yeah.
And I've gotten hurt bad. And so I've had to back off, and think about, like, wait a second, why is this happening? I had to go, all right, who am I hanging out with? What am I doing wrong here? Why am I getting hurt? So, and then I understood what Guru was talking about, man. You just do enough to keep tuned up, man. So you keep going. Because there's guys who train, man, super hard, and they're getting older, and they go, oh, if I could just get back to where I was when I was 25. I'm like, dude, you're 56, 57, 58. You're not going to get back to 25. You can train as hard as you want. You're never going to get back there. But if you understand this, you don't have to do that, because your art will still keep growing. And for all the aging that you do, you learn how to train smart. And then this is where it's at, because you can keep running and running and running, but you're going to get diminishing returns until you understand body motion, rhythm, and timing, which is where the art is at. So if you go into the art, it's not an athletic event. It's an art, You're not in the garage banging nails. You're you're a painter. You're expressing yourself through art, and martial art is your expression of that art. So, it doesn't matter like, oh, that technique wouldn't work, whatever. You just learn what there is to learn. Then you understand that you can phrase it and put it into, time in any way you want. I mean, so if you come at it from the artist perspective, I think it's a lot healthier than it is to come at it from the, because you got these guys in their 50s, whatever, they're talking about combat, they're talking about, sparring, and they're talking about competition. Now, that's good for some people. If you could keep competing and you're doing whatever competitions you're doing, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. But if you can approach it from the art, that's the blanket, the umbrella that goes over all the other activities as well. So you can go into any of those areas, but really you have to understand what Guru's teaching. It's a masterclass in jazz at the academy. That's what you're getting. You're getting a masterclass in jazz.
Brother, it sounds like it, and I agree when it comes to the art part, the martial and the art. We got to have some type of balance, a little bit of both, but at the same time, the art is the study of the ever-encompassing part that is just really takes care of all of it, and right now, people are scared in the world we live in right now a lot. And
because they're out of rhythm, and they're out of time. And then if you understand this, you'll be grounded, and people will look to you and they'll go, why is that guy so relaxed? Right. So how come he seems to have it? I mean, Guru's cool, right?
He is too cool for school. Marlon Brando, you're the first person that I have ever known that said that, and I could totally see it down to him standing there, hand on the hip, right? And it makes total sense.
People are freaking out because they're all out of time, they're all out of rhythm, man. And it's the same with the martial arts, right? Oh man, I used to be so good, I can't get back to where I'm at, right? Because your feet aren't on the ground. You're back in your head when you're 25 and you were blitzing at, some demonstration in Chinatown and you're like the shit, right? So, but, you're in your 50s, it's like, okay, you don't want to be the guy who peaks in high school. You want to be the guy, as Guru says, that, right? It's a long trip, man.
Yeah, not that. We're just shooting.
Yeah.
Small
Or,
descent,
Jimmy.
small descent, small descent.
Yeah. I mean, how many musicians? Bang, Jimi Hendrix, Charlie Parker, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, But who's more important, right? The guy who gets, Buddy Rich till he was 70 years old, man, was kicking ass, man. Guru's kicking ass at 89. I mean, holy shit.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And one of my gurus, Steve Fristow, he used to say a lot of things about rhythm and timing. I lost him during COVID, and you just explained a couple things. So I just want to say thanks. There were just little itty bitty things that he put in there, and yeah.
Yeah, my condolences to you, man.
Yeah, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The world is a very interesting place right now, Michael, and maybe we all need to focus on the rhythm. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right, because that's what keeps you grounded, man, and that's what keeps you able to stay, straight ahead, man. That's what my drum teacher would say, straight ahead, right? He told me one day, he goes, Dubin, you know what your problem is? You're too sane.
Explain, sir.
Yeah, and my brother looked at him like, are you, what? Are you kidding? And Freddie was right, though, man, because I have these things in my life that keep me going straight ahead, right? Mm-hmm. I never got sidetracked with drugs or alcohol. Or my problem was people, that would take my energy. And now that I've gotten tuned up, right, I've gone, okay, wait a second, I got to cut this off, because where am I failing and lacking, and why is it happening? So, that's another thing, man. You got to constantly be asking questions. Like at the academy, I'm like, why are we doing this drill? I don't understand it. And then some of my training partners, they would go, oh, well, let me go ask so-and-so. And they'll go across the room. And I'll say to them, you see that guy right there?
Yes.
The guy that, little Filipino man standing against he has the answer. Let's go ask him. Right? Why go ask that instructor or that instructor? Guru's standing right there doing nothing. Let's ask him. So I would go ask him. And he would tell me, one time we're doing the stick and dagger drill, the numerata drill. And Guru does it in time. He does it in 3-4 time. And I said to my training partner, I said, watch, he's going to click the dagger on the second beat. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. He clicks the dagger on the stick. And I knew the answer to this, right? So Guru goes into the bathroom, and he comes out of the bathroom, and he's walking by, and I said, excuse me, Guru, I have a question for you. And my training partner was there, and I asked for her. And I said, Guru, why do you click the dagger on beat 2 when you're feeding the Bisadari? He goes, and he hits me on the shoulder, he goes, the rhythm, Michael. And he walks off. So it's awareness, right? And I mentioned this to several people, man. They're like, no, we've never seen him do that. I'm like, you never seen him do that? You've been here for 40 years. So why is he doing that? So I would ask, why are you doing that? Why are we doing this drill? I'm not just going to copy somebody. I want to know the reason. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose of this, right? Why is my life shit right now? So why is it, it gotta be, right? Because maybe it's not something they're doing. It's maybe something I'm doing, right? I'm out of rhythm. I'm going, wait a second. This keeps happening to me. There's a pattern going that I got to break the pattern, right? So I'm stuck in this pattern that I keep repeating because I don't know the other options, and it's the same thing as learning the book, right? So, you get punched in the face 10 times. On the 10th time, you're going to be like, whoop, okay.
Oh, sometimes I just get punched 11 times, Mike. But yeah. But that makes sense. That's how we learn.
Yeah, I mean, why did I get into a car accident coming home from that gig, man? Because I shouldn't have been on the gig in the first place. So a lot of things like that happen, man. Life kicks your ass, and then one day you go, all right, wait a second. Okay, stop a second. I need a break. So Okay, hold on a second.
I'm on the
Let me,
ropes. I'm barely standing. I hear you.
yeah. Time out.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, you got to take that time out to recharge, man, and to recover, So at a certain point, martial arts was giving me fuel, and then it started taking from me. So, I had to say, wait a second, I got to step back from from this scene for a minute, man, to get my bearings again, like, because that'll happen too, right? Music can take from you or it can give you, so there's got to be balance,
Balance is the hardest part, especially for Western culture, brother. It's so hard to do, and it's part of human nature. And go, 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 and taking the time to just breathe sometimes is really hard. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be something that you got to navigate, but I think it's a lot easier to navigate these things when you have the tools, and the tools being something, to keep you going forward. My nephew and I talk about this, Aslan. He became my training partner also when he was a little kid. He was like 7 or 8. He'd come to stay with me, and I would practice Kali with him at home.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an amazing piano player, and also a cardist. He does cardistry. And we talk about these things having something to focus on who's better than you. He's got Oscar Peterson. The bar for, Oscar Peterson, the piano player, he's the bar, man. Buddy Rich, the drummer, is the bar. Guru's the bar, I'm never going to get to that bar, but I might have my own bar in my own area with my own things that I do that I can be the best at, that makes me unique. I don't have to compete with people because I have my own unique thing, and I can be comfortable in that. I'm not going to be looking at everybody else to be going, oh God, I wish I was, whatever. I got my own path. I got to walk it, and I got to stay true to that, and that's what I think is the biggest lesson, So it's not about, because Guru's got so many students. Freddie Gruber's got so many students, right? Who's the best? Who's going to take over? Who cares, right? We all got the same material. You just have to do with it and learn, it's the alphabet, right? We all have the alphabet. I can write a poem with it, or I can, fill in my taxes, whatever. So, it doesn't matter, man. It's not a competition. It's like, you're here to express yourself to the best of your ability. This is a great thing, man, that Guru's given us. But so is everything else, man. Playing the drums, playing the guitar. We're very lucky to be able to do these things. But, sometimes they can become too much.
Yeah.
You train too much, So you got to know, like, all right, I train too much. My finances are here. It's like, now I got to go back. I don't know, man. It's just, you want the composition has got to start to look like something, man. You can't have a droopy face on this side and then, so.
Or you can, but you got to have the awareness to, like, holy shit, that's exactly what I did. How did that happen? Right?
Yeah.
And they'd be able to follow it on the way back. Whatever you're doing, Mike, I'm going to say, dude, you look great and seem on fire and super. No, seriously, don't make me. Yours is, I'm not, but at the same time, whatever you're doing, brother, keep doing it. And
thank you, man. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing the rhythm aspects. And what is the name of your video that's coming out? And where can my viewers, and more importantly, my students, where can they find this?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to release it on Gumroad.
Okay.
The video's shot. The text is done. I just have to upload the videos and then make the links available. So maybe by the time that you're releasing this video, you can add the links. It'll be available on Gumroad. And the title of it is going to be The Secret to Martial Art, Rhythm and Timing.
Yeah.
Rhythm and Time. Secret to the Martial Art, Rhythm and Time. By Michael Dubin, Volume 1, Single Stick.
Beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, this will be the single stick, and then eventually I'll go back and do other things, maybe the Sinawali and double stick. And basically it's a drum lesson with, single stick is just your right hand.
Yes, sir.
If I have this hand, the check hand with a dagger or with another stick, then I can start to put these things in, right? But to just teach the rhythm and the timing, This is the first one, and we'll see how it does. It's going to be a course,
Okay.
like 7 parts, I think. And instead of one long video, which is too hard to like, you got to scroll through it. This will be like small sections that you can digest and then do each one. And it'll really open your eyes and awareness of something you're already doing, but it'll just enhance what you're doing.
Yeah, or just shine a different light on it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the point, we have numerous footworks, numerous 6 counts, right? It seems like just another avenue to make it ours, and I think that it could help people learn, which as an instructor, that's the rub, right? How quickly can I help people to learn and to feel more comfortable and just having music in the class? Is huge.
Yeah, because
we recently had our Bluetooth speaker go out in the middle of class this week, and the 45 minutes with no rhythm in the back for the one class in the adults was different. The energy was different. Every part of it was different. Sticks were clacking, but we just didn't have that, I don't know, maestro orchestra or whatever it was. That all we knew at the end of that day is that we're going to stop whatever we're doing and we're going to go find a radio because we need it for the gym right now.
Yeah. So now, if that happens, right, because it's nice to train the music, but also too, if you're aware of the internal rhythm that you have going on, you might want to focus on that for a while too, and not train to music, because you're the music and you're trying to get it into your sticks, right? So, I could go boom boom back chicka boom chicka back chicka boom boom back chicka boom chicka back chicka boom boom back chicka boom 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 and boom 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 ba 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 boom boom whap. That's a phrase, right? So then you're the rhythm, right? Yeah. So you're the drum. You're the all you're doing is playing drums on people, man. That's what Kali is.
Well, brother, thanks to you, I can actually I did pull out my drum because my students bought me a cajon.
Nice.
They were wondering, we would go to the Minnesota Kali group and we would go and there was always drums playing and I'm not playing drums. And I was like, well, in capoeira, I kind of blah, blah, blah. So they got me a drum, a beautiful cajon. And I pulled it out and I played one of the rhythms I learned from your last course, your DVD. And it went really, really well, like not for nothing. And so... wow, what an interesting discussion. We really hit different points in martial arts, artistry, but not only that, I feel like consciousness, to a certain degree, being able to look things in a different view.
Yeah, and I think that's the powerful thing about this, right? This area that I've been exploring will raise your consciousness and your awareness. And it's actually will, because you're aware of what's going on in the room. Like you can see Guru hit that dagger on beat 2. You can see that he's feeding in time. You can look at other instructors when they do demonstrate and you go, he's dragging, he's rushing, his footwork's off, and you want to do that. You want to be looking at the people and then you want to be able to have a discussion about it. That's where the art's at, getting together and going, okay, how can we solve these problems?
Yeah.
It's not a critique about, hey man, you suck because you have no time. It's like, if your ego can handle it, you'll go, oh, okay, wait a second, open to creative, criticism, and work it out, man. So because a lot of demos you see, like for years I would see demos in JKD and I would go, I don't get this, I just don't understand. Guru kept telling me, Michael, stick with it, you're gonna get it, because Kali Sila, no problem, right? And then I realized what I was seeing was demos that were out of time. And I went back and I watched some videos of Guru demonstrating his JKD. I'm like, oh, okay, there's the rhythm, right? It's like listening to somebody play Eruption, on the guitar, Eddie Van Halen, and they're like, what are they playing? This doesn't sound like Eruption at all, right? So it's the same thing, man. You watch a demo and you go, what? What is that, right? So,
it's Springfield, Illinois. When I grew up.
It has to do with the rhythm, right? Boom. This is coming, one end. It's not 1, 2. It could be if you're in quarter notes, but a lot of times people will drag that. If they drag, they're not going to get to center line. I'll be waiting for them at center line like I'm, waiting for a bus. I'm like, okay, come on, So, or they'll swing past you, and because they rush it, right? And they're swinging over here, and you're like, you want to sort of aim for this side, right? So you can tell people swing for the ear. The nose is the center line. You go and you make your now you're putting it in the right place, because they don't tell you that stuff. I mean, Guru wants you to figure a lot of things out.
Yeah,
because
he does.
I think because like it took me 9 years to get my black ECOT and C-Lot. And I got passed over, whatever, like, because I don't care about that. But I'm like, well, what am I doing that I need to fix that's gonna, get this? I forgot where I'm going with this with the C-Lot thing.
It's all right.
Because we've covered so much stuff.
We have covered so much, brother.
Yeah. But anyways, the timing of things is, if you have a note going like this, your center line is going to be that's where it's going to be the time. So you don't want to drag, you don't want to rush.
And the first step well, what we were talking about, the first step of that actually, and what I'm getting from this is let's have an awareness of rhythm as we train. When I know from being a student of Guru Asano that it comes up, and I can talk to my students about small ways to manipulate it, right? As an understanding of a martial artist over the years, but looking at it from a different perspective, it might just blow the top off the thing. And that's kind of what I'm getting from you. And even if not, your excitement is on fire. And I've learned so much from the last thing. Like I said the other day, you should have seen it. I pulled out the drum and I started playing the cajon. And
nice.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
anyway,
so
I'm not going to play in front of you. I'm going to practice first. It was probably pretty ugly, but I was happy I had it.
Last thing, I remember what I was going to say about that.
Yeah.
So what Guru, I think, was waiting to see from me personally was emotional growth. And so he'll tell you something, because as you move your body, I think you release emotions. If you store emotions in your hip, you have a back pain or your hips are stiff. A lot of Guru's program, I think, is a healing program, because he says it's through the physical that you get to the spiritual. So as you move your body, like I was locked up because of all the trauma that I had growing up, right? And the C-Lot sort of loosened me up. And my drum teacher did the same thing. He loosened me up. And the Kali loosens you up, right? And as you do that, these emotions come up, and then you have to process the emotions, right? And then people will trigger those emotions again and again. They'll keep pressing your buttons until you react a different way, and you go, wait a second, I need to change how I'm responding to this. But I think, so what happened was, with my C-Lot ECOT, I got my Kali black belt pretty quick. But the C-Lot, it wasn't about the material. It was about something else that was going on. And I think Guru gives you enough clues to where you might have to process those emotions. When you finally process it, in my opinion, I think he came over to me in that point and he goes, Dubin, here you go. Here's your black ECOT. He can see it, because you have students, I have students. You can see where their emotional state's at. You can see what's going on, So I think part of his genius is letting you figure it out, and everyone's going to put it together differently. But the point is that you're constantly seeking to put it together.
Yeah. And with that, it gives us a different perspective on different aspects of our life.
Yeah.
Right? End of the day, if this thing doesn't give me at least a little bit of a better life, then I don't know why I'm doing it. Right? And that's the rub. Thank you for bringing that piece up.
Yeah, I think that's the most important part, because my intention when I joined the academy was to heal myself. From my previous thing. It wasn't to learn self-defense. I could already fight. Who cares, right? Been fighting my whole life. So, but I'm here to learn this art, because it's cool.
Yeah.
I see Guru do something. I see, Sammy Davis Jr. twirl some guns. So I'm going to be like, oh, it's a gunfighter. I'm going to try to learn that. You want to learn these things, And Sammy Davis said something cool, man. He did a bit where he's twirling the guns and he puts it back and he stops and he goes, I wouldn't put him on if I wasn't good at it, So, and, that's something to aspire to, You want to learn the new magic trick. You want to learn how to play eruption. You want to learn how to play some cajon. You want to, yeah, that's what makes life better, you know? And then you can jam with other people. That's where it's at, man, you know?
That's what I watch with the children's program. I had a really good conversation with Guru, and he said that he liked to teach the kids, and think I was able to help out there at the academy with teaching the children's a little bit, thanks to Tim Becker. And when I see the kids, sometimes they don't stick around as long as I would like them to, but I see them go on and try something new. That the kid that I met might not have tried that thing, So that's a big part why we do what we do, I guess, maybe. So
Yeah, well, you got to have someone like that. And Guru's great at that. Like Dubin, try, get up there, do it, right? And I have the woman who taught me lead climbing at my gym. She'll walk by and she'll say, like, you should try that 11C or jump on that 11D. You can do it, right? I was like, are you sure?
yeah,
Like, so, but you need someone to tell you, like, hey, you can do this, let's play some blues, man. I'm going to show you 3 chords. I'm going to show you how to hold some rhythm, and then you can do it. It's easy, man. It's just 3 chords, some rhythm, and then I can play over the top of it, and we can sing "Sweet Home Chicago." You can do it.
Sweet Home Chicago. Brother, next time you come this way, especially if you end up in Lake Geneva, please give me a call. I lived in Lake Geneva for 3 years. My son, when he was born, that's where we lived. It's a wonderful place. And it'd be really interesting if we actually had mutual friends at one point. Like, wow, the universe, the rhythm of the universe, it wouldn't be that crazy.
How old are you?
I'm 50. I'm 50.
Okay.
And I lived there for 3 years, about 18 years ago. So maybe through people I might know you. I mean, or
Steve.
through, I know people who would know you or something. I don't know. I'm off on
Steve Uppling?
It sounds familiar.
He's a drummer.
Okay.
He lives on Lake Como, the little lake.
Well, maybe. But
Yeah.
he sounds super familiar. There was a guy very close to me. His name was Richie Newhouse, and he grew up there. And he, at the time when my son was born, I used to drink a lot. So I went to all of the area pubs with him and whatnot. So
Then you got to know Steve.
I was going to say I probably know people that I don't know I
Yeah.
know, and I probably am not even sure that...
Yeah.
I want to bring that piece up.
Yeah, Steve's an amazing guy. He's completely transformed his life. Great drummer, great musician, one of my best friends, and we always have such a ball. We've come through a lot together, and yeah, he's out in Lake Geneva, and there's some good friends in Wisconsin, man.
Yeah.
They're all from Illinois, but
Yeah. Well, we do tend to come up this way after a while. I really enjoy Wisconsin. We're right in Wausau, right in the middle. And if you make it anywhere near this way, come see us. We'd love to have you. And
for sure.
Could me and my wife make a couple videos on the Cabri Cabrong that we were doing and maybe send it and have you critique it? Would you mind that?
Of course, yeah. Send them over.
I'd super appreciate that because we're training and we want to bring some of the things to Affinity, but I want to make sure that I'm practiced and well versed enough in them before I try to do anything else like that.
Yeah, love to help out however I can.
Yeah, brother, so appreciate that. So we're gonna have you. Would you like to come back and talk with us again?
Yeah, anytime. You let me know,
brother. I will let you know, and we'll see if this episode comes out right around the time that your video is coming, and if not, we're gonna bring you back regardless. Because this conversation was great, and I think a lot of people will get a lot out of it, especially our Affinity Martial Arts students, which is kind of my impetus for starting it in the first place. So,
awesome.
I'm not going to ask you to recommend anybody. You can send me a message, but I'm going to bring you back. All right?
Okay,
So I'm not going to have you recommend anybody right now. You can send me a message if you know of somebody, but I want to have you back on. I want to continue to follow this kind of rhythm path a little bit and see. As somebody who started drumming when they were 2, it took, thank you for being honest, that it took 8 years or however many years to open up that piece. Now I see you're on fire with it, brother.
Yeah, it took a long time
Mm.
to make the connection. I mean, honestly, I mean, I think this is my own path with this, and I have a complete understanding of it now. Um, and I'm constantly things are constantly like every day there's epiphanies with this,
Mm.
that
Yeah.
are happening. Little pieces of the puzzle, and a lot of it has to do with going back and watching old videos of Guru and catching things. And now that I understand, because you're transcribing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say you want to learn a guitar part or a drum part. I don't hold my pick the same as Eddie Van Halen. I don't hold my pick the same as Neil Schon from Journey. I don't play, Andy Summers. I have a similar, style to Andy because I've followed him quite a bit. But it's the same with martial arts, right? If you learn the rhythm, the timing, and the notes, what's going to make it a little bit different is your body type, which is what Guru says, right? He
Mm-hmm.
says he's about 40% of what Bruce Lee could do. But what percentage was Bruce Lee of what Guru could do, right? So, I mean, it goes both
It
ways,
always
right?
does.
But if you see Guru do a drill, I mean, a simple angle 1, angle 2. I went back and refined that whole thing this last year. I've been doing angle 1, angle 2 since I started. But how does Guru do angle 1, angle 2? Right? So the stick is behind his back with the weight in the back of the stick. He uses his fingers to start the motion, right? He's not gripping the stick like a death grip, right? How is he getting that torque? A lot of it's in his book. If you go back to his book, he's got a lot of these details written in his book.
My
He
wife's
says it's
reading
out.
that right now. She's got my copy. She's got my copy. Yeah.
Read the section on torque. Read the section on the long arc, on
Mm-hmm.
the short arc. His stance. For many years, up until this year, I was doing everything off the front foot, right? And this always felt weird on the right side, like this felt cramped. Then I realized Guru's not in the male triangle for this, he's in the female triangle. Now all of a sudden that shifted my center line. But the only reason I was able to start to see these things is because I'm hip to the rhythm of it. And then I saw I could catch on to his time, and then I could watch where where he's coming from, right? This whole thing, this motion, getting this down. If you watch his videos, the timing of that, right? Where is that dagger hand? Most people got the dagger up here and they're going like this, right? But Guru's got this dagger going, he's so where's his left hand, Where's his foot? You're just transcribing a drummer, right? Or a
Sure.
guitar player. But it takes that long to like be able to see these things,
Mm-hmm.
because you're still working on, and it depends who you watch too, right? You watch a drummer like Dave Grohl or Travis Barker, one of those guys, and then you go watch, but they're not the same drummer, man. You watch Buddy Rich play, and you watch these guys. I'm sorry, it's a different ball game, man. So you watch Guru Dan. Guru Dan is the pinnacle, man. You
Yes,
watch
sir.
him like that little video that he does with the nunchucks and he's putting the stick behind his back in the white T-shirt, the Brando T-shirt, man. He's on fire. I mean, it's insane, you know. And his timing, his rhythm, everything is swinging, man. The faucet is on.
It's one chain all the way through.
Exactly. Yeah. And the only way you can get to that, man, is if you understand, because Guru plays, man. Guru's a musician. He plays ukulele, he sings, he plays a little guitar, he can play keyboards, he's got melodic sense, he's got harmonic sense, he's got rhythmic sense. You need all three of those things for music, man. So, and you apply that to your martial art. That's my advice for the one thing that you could do to improve your martial arts is to understand music.
Thank you for that. Thank you for
and
that.
Musashi says it in the Book of Five Rings. You want to understand it? Understand the guitar, then you'll understand the sword. Like what? But yeah, it makes sense. It's just body motion and rhythm and time.
In the moment.
So, anyways,
brother, you're gonna come back on. We're gonna have another conversation. I appreciate you so much coming on, Mike, and the very fact that these things, or you're cultivating these things and giving other avenues and different Well, anyway, I need the DVD, otherwise I'm not learning how to play the rhythms for Guru. That's all I know. If I'm there, I'm still like, coordination, right? Uh,
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? Everyone's got drums at the academy because Guru's got drums, right?
yes, sir.
But you got to learn to fucking play them. You know, you know. So I mean, Guru's taking drum lessons, right? You got to get. I'm not saying you have to take drum lessons, but like I mean, that's the
Well,
whole thing. Like
but if you do, another light can get shined on it. That's what I'm hearing. Like, do you want another light on it? Do you want the same light, the same thing? You can have the same light, the same thing. But maybe you could shine a new light on it.
yeah. Here's the thing. Guru did all this work
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
He's studied with everybody. He's put the whole program, and there's progression to what he does. His class progresses.
Every time.
It's built that way, like on purpose, right? So for example, he'll do the 1-2-1 outside deflection drill and then go into sobrata, right? And then so a lot of times people will do sobrata, but they don't put the check hand in. But what he's saying is it's media range, right? So you got to be in the right range. But the rhythm to the 1-2-1 outside deflection is what's important also, right? So 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. And that's how he feeds it. So you watch how he feeds the rhythm. He's giving a long arm or he's giving a short arm. This would be an eighth note. That would be a quarter note. So the length of your body, right? I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff, Jamie, that's like, I mean, you could break this down into, I mean, that's a long punch. This is like a half, right? So 1 and 1, 2, right? Or just the shoulder. This is a jab. That's a jab. That's a jab, right? But one is a quarter note, one's an eighth note, the other one is a 16th note because the motion's so fast, right? All these
All
things you
right.
can.
I'm gonna have to slow you down, Mike. You're gonna give away the whole thing. The thing hasn't came out yet. All right. And my mind is imploding right now. I'm still at.
Yeah. Well, that's the point, right?
Yeah,
The
brother.
point is to get you to. The point is to get you to go. Oh, okay. Wait a second. All these possibilities are here, right? It's like walking into the music shop and just going, "Oh my God, look at this! Where do I start?"
Like a kid in a candy shop. You can come back on the show and talk to us.
Of course, man. Anytime, man.
This was an honor to have you on. I appreciate it so much, and great information. The name of your video, once again, that's coming out is called
It's called "The Secret to Martial Art:
Rhythm and Time.
Rhythm and Time." Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I'll give you the links for it and everything, and then you can.
We'll get it out. We'll get it
Yeah,
out and check it out and have you back on afterwards. And I'm interested in, as you share this, some of the feedback that comes from other people as well. You had talked about Mr. Lanero. I had him on the show recently and went down to Band of Brothers Martial Arts down in Bloomington, Illinois, and saw him. And
nice.
he is an exceptional martial artist and a really good teacher once again. And some of those, I'm getting the same vibes, man. I don't know what to say, but I'm getting the same vibes from both you guys. So
Good. Well, yeah, he's excited about what he's doing, so that
yeah,
enthusiasm is gonna definitely go to his students, which is I think that's the thing, man. If you have a fire and a passion for it, it's going to be contagious. So I got kids, man. I teach Kali to kids.
yeah,
I have a
me too.
small class. I have a small class. I have a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old,
Mm,
and then a parent who's 54. Those are my students right now.
awesome.
They're the ones who are in the demo.
Yeah.
But these kids do 2 hours of Kali, no problem. And then the little one, the 9-year-old, will say to me, you know, Datu Dubin, they call me. So they'll say, Datu Dubin is am I missing anything that these guys know that I don't know? I was like, well, yeah, well, don't worry about it. You're gonna get it all. But after 2 hours of training, and they stay focused the whole time because they like it.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it is all encompassing if you think about it. I am aware of the music and how important it is, but I got a different appreciation for it today. Really appreciate that, brother. We're going to have you back on, and we'll talk a little bit about how this is affecting your teaching and different things. And thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jamie, for the opportunity to speak with you today. It's an honor, and I'm so glad you reached out, man.
Me
Especially
too.
we have this Midwest connection that
Yeah.
and also too, I mean, to have a real conversation with you that's outside of the parking lot, where we can sit down and
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, but yeah, hopefully, maybe next summer I'll be out your way, and then can maybe come see you.
That'd be great, brother. Excellent. This is Jamie Sparling from the FormABLE Podcast, Affinity Martial Arts and Wellness in Wausau, Wisconsin, with Mr. Michael Dubin out in Los Angeles, California. Thank you for watching. Leave us a like, a comment. What do you think about rhythm in martial arts? Rhythm and fighting. How do we cultivate it? Talk to us, leave us a comment. I'm going to have Michael back on, and maybe we could get to answer to questions, because I learned a lot from having him on, and I'm sure that you did too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. FormABLE Podcast.
Jamie, you're the best, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.